Hello guys, welcome back to the crew calling all units. RMD on patrol number 11. We are still in the south and we have a few places to discover because that sort of is what this series is. It's sort of a road trip where we use a police car. And seeing we are in the south, we're dealing with the performance spec. The Pagani Huayra is the last one that we have to drive around in and also discover the last parts of the south which we haven't done yet. So where are we gonna drive? We're gonna start at Fort Stockton where we sort of finished with the Koenigsegg Agera in the previous video, and then we're gonna go from there a bit more in the Big Bend area, and then we go to Port Arthur and Bridge City over the coastal plains, Padre Island, Port Isabel, and then drive around there a bit, and also a bit finishing on the ramp. Then on the ranch there, I will explain later why that is. And then we sort of discovered the whole south, more or less. With the Nissan GTR we spent our the Miami Keys, the Everglades, we kind of discovered that area. Then we took the bike, we did Cape Canaveral and all this area here, New Orleans. And then with the Aventador we did sort of the north of the south area, Nashville, Pine Island, Mississippi Delta. In the last video we used the Aventador to cover the north and west areas of Dallas, more or less. And now we finish up here in the booting. The boot of the south, let's call it that. Up we go. And it was here somewhere that was the monster arena called the Green Arena. That was in the beta for the crew, and that was sort of the 5th arena out there. But for some reason it never made the game. Was sort of here at the Padre Islands. There is some footage out there, I believe, like people like Paraglider have done a video about 5 arenas, I think. Although it looked completely different than the other 4 that we have. the Silver Steed range. Here is the place where you can find the horses. The only problem with the horses is that they do not always load. You see people wandering about here in the field, and they are sort of taking care of the horses, but the horses are not here. So you can drive away, come back, go into headquarters, come out again, and eventually a horse will appear. We will come back to that later. We go back out here, go a second to the right, and there you have like the white barn things here. Let's see if there's something in there. Not in this one, but there are pigs in here, as you can see. Let's go back to the ranch and see if the horses are already there. The reason I'm showing this is for something like the zoologist award, which is kinda bugged as it is. Most people are stuck at 95%. At least we got some sort of deer there. There should be a horse in the stable. There should also be a horse in this field. And then you have in these fields where the people are taking care of the horses. There are a couple more, normally. For those who are stuck on the zoologist award, let's say at 89% or something, that's probably gonna be the pig and the horse here, and then you will end up at 95%, I believe. Let me see. The awards. I'm assuming it's one of the free drive things. Yep. Free drive live events, and it's discover every type of wild animal zoologist award. It's stuck at 95%. I've been all over the map. I've encountered many of these things, but yeah, it's not the only ones that are bugged. What else is bugged? Cities, no. The zones. Midwest, same story. I have everything, but achieve 100% completion stat in the Midwest. I'm stuck at 98%. And the South goes for the East. The South, discover 25 named locations in the South. Same story, stuck at 96%. And there are others. There are what is that? Do a combination in a third spec, $2,500 combination stunt while you're in a police chase or something. Also, since calling all units, that one is bugged, and so on. But the horses, they can be found. Let's see if it works. If we go into headquarters and come back, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. What basically happens is if you go to headquarters, you sort of create a new session. It's also one of those tricks you can use in case your friends disappear from the session or something like that. Sort of the same. There you go. Like I said, there are horses. But you have to go in headquarters and come back to be able to see them. But also here now, Where are the others? Let's see if we have animals here. Because also here in these fence things there are, I believe, some sort of oxes that I saw there once. He's still sleeping here as well. These are still here, there. Although it tries to escape. And that sorta finishes up this road trip as well. For those who still need to find these horses and the pigs and... Where is it? We are all the way in the south. So we have the south. If you zoom in a bit, you have Dallas here. Go all the way south to Padre Island that you can see there. Zoom in a bit more, you see Port Isabel. You take this turn and then that little dirt road that you see here, that basically is the ranch entry. Silver Steed Ranch it's called, I believe. And now they are gone again, as you can see. I just went out of the map for a second. Out of the name of the map and the horses are gone again. So, go into headquarters, come back and they will load. In the indeed Silver Steed Ranch. That also means that we sort of discovered the whole south. We also covered all the police cars in performance spec, which means we are moving to the mountain states. The mountain states, I'm not sure how I'm going to do that because, yeah, as you can see, that is the biggest state and we only have 3 raid specs in police and a monster truck that we could use, but we're not gonna cover the whole monster today with that. So, but we also have 6 circuit specs. Circuit specs is for the west coast, but yeah, there are not so many things to discover. So in this circuit spec it will also go pretty fast, so I'm assuming I'm gonna use 1 circuit spec to sort of discover the northern part of the west coast, 1 San Francisco and the middle part, and then 1 for the Los Angeles area and Mexican border and such. Which means I have 3 circuit specs left. And I think I'm gonna combine those for the mountain states. So, mountain states I'm gonna use a combination of raid spec and a couple of the circuit specs, and then the rest of the circuit specs will be for the west coast. That will be for the next videos, and I will see you guys then. Bye for now.